Gonna make this quick and simple. 2018, so much better than what 2017 was. Less drama, some less drama at least. It was just more fun. We ended up getting a whole lot of good commentaries. But unfortunately, we also got a whole lot of bad ones. So, just like last year, I'm making a list of the worst commentaries to come out this year. And specific criteria-wise, all I'm going to be doing is just rating these on how badly I dislike them. No really specific criteria than I have to have seen the video, and unlike last countdown, repeat targets will be here. Though there's only going to be one, and we'll get to that when we get to that. So without ado, let's clash. I think it's a really bad start for how bad my distaste for some of the commentaries this year have been. This particular entry is number 10. So remember last year?
Boo! You stink!
Now who wants to remember last year? Okay, good, you have common sense. But last year I made the argument that the largest issue to plague the commentary community was spite, and while this year by far has had a major decline in the amount of commentaries with that particular issue, we have had some commentaries that felt like they had the pure intent to tear others down. And something I've noticed in the community is that each year comes with a specific commentary bandwagon. One year may be Common Jack, the next year may be, I don't know, Mr. Enter or something. But in the starting years of 2018, well, that's where Kung Muller got involved.
Okay, no, Kung. Get your head out of your fucking world star hip-hop, attention whore, jump cutting, kushad for 1 motherfucking second!
So can we all collectively agree that Kung was the CC's punching bag and not in a good way last year? Legit, this all got out of control. For context, Kung's a YouTuber who makes talk show style videos, and for a while at least, before stopping, he had made multiple videos on CC members of, to be blunt, laughable quality. And as such, he became a massive bandwagon. If the CC has shown me anything over the past few years, it's that just because a target is easy, it doesn't mean you can't royally screw up on them. ClownDude98's video on Kung's video on me is a perfect example of how one should never not try, simply due to who they're covering. Now, might as well address the large elephant in the room. When I originally covered the video, I labeled it as one of the worst of the year. So why is it here? Well, upon reflecting it, it's not as god-awful as I had originally remembered. Like, sure, there are apparent issues, such as Clown being vague as all hell.
Either please, make closed captions available like Nightmare Kagamind does, or do what Shadvik does and have subtitles.
When, come on man, it's not that hard to link Joshua's channel so we know who the heck you're talking about. Or I could talk about how it almost feels as if Clown came in trying to make Kung seem like he's worse than he actually is, actually downright making a fact up in the latter half of the video.
Like you have audio bleed, crappy points, and crappy ad hominem, crappy ad hominem, crappy ad hominem.
It's also clear that Kong doesn't actually understand how public criticism works well, choosing to argue that Kong should just listen to any criticism thrown his way, when deconstructive criticism exists as well. My lodge this issue though, and yeah, you could probably guess it through the opening clip, has to be just how generally unpleasant to watch it is. Like, it's not final shot levels of anger, but, well, if I'm to go back in time...
Okay, no, Kung. Get your head out of your fucking world star hip-hop, attention whore, jump cutting, kushad for 1 motherfucking second! He's not giving you criticism to make fun of you, he's giving you criticism to help you improve your extremely shitty content that's not worth a fucking nickel.
You get where I'm coming from now? Well, I may not go as far to claim it's as spiteful anymore due to the fact that Clown's tone isn't like this throughout the whole entire video. The latter half of the video is just so unpleasant to watch because Clown could not sound like any more of a condescending prick. There's nothing wrong with being mean in commentaries, but there's always a limit to how far the anger can go before it just comes off as flat out cyberbullying. But the points are bad, had it not been for the last minute and a half, this video probably wouldn't even be on the list. But it just reeks of so much 2017 commentary community ore that I couldn't resist putting it on this list. Next. There seems to be this opinion that doing commentaries unscripted is always going to make commentaries end in failure. Now, personally, I wouldn't say I agree with this. It's possible for said commentaries to be made good. It's just more than likely going to be bad if you're flying off the cuff. not contemplating what you're saying and can make some downright dumb points without noticing it. Heck, given my rather shaky track record this year, I can heavily vouch for saying this opinion is correct with me. Actually, never mind, I'm getting off topic. TLDR, unscripted commentaries more than not end up leading towards failure. And hearing this, you're already probably thinking of TOG already, ain't ya?
Because it's my first commentary I've made in a long time, and first actual video past, doing my Nuzlocke challenge of Pokemon Platinum that I'm trying to fix because I had an issue and lost some of my video files and kind of screwed up my saves. So I'm trying to fix that now.
Why is it that nobody in the commentary community can seem to make a good commentary in the game unless you get Silver involved in it? Okay, so if I could sum up this commentary, I could call it by two names. 1, lack of effort. 2, jump the gun the commentary. Sorry, not much effort put into those titles. Yeah, no, that's just the same amount of effort put into this video. Oh, and you think I'm kidding about jumping the gun?
So well done. Claps. Kudos, everyone, clap for the guy. Kudos to you. I have to give you your number 10 spot because that is a good example of a bad JRPG that really you shouldn't play around your family or really play in general, in my opinion. But it does make me wonder why this one is only at number 10 on the list. Please tell me your other games are not going to be less justifiable than this one.
Even though, more than likely, the gamer just had more reasons for why these games are unsafe to play around parents and criminal girls. The video as a whole just reeks of absolute laziness, both shown by the obvious gaps in speaking with the editing, as well as just the general lack of any research or care. The dude flat out claims that the game tackles subjects like rape. Yet, that, as shown by Doodle, is only brought up once in the game, and is, well, optional too.
So, we have just straight up forgotten that we're talking about JRPGs at this point, haven't we? We just have. This is no longer a list about JRPGs. Unless, of course, visual novels count as RPGs these days. You know those games that have no gameplay past choosing what to say and what path to follow?
Alright, there's also, that. In which case, games like Ace Attorney and Danganronpa want you to have a merry good time, sir. One of the reasons this particular commentary is so high on the list is simply because, well, it's one of the most disappointing of the bunch, given said commentator's track record. But the fact that he hasn't made a commentary in a long while shows hard, making points that even a lower tier commentator could be at least self-aware not to make.
Okay. I will give you that fan service games aren't everyone's cup of tea. That's granted. This is forgetting that it actually has a very quirky and entertaining storyline, and really the gameplay is rather good and the characters are overall likable.
Yeah, subjectivity doesn't debunk subjectivity, okay? Okay, bye. As a whole, this entry is nothing more than a disappointing mess from a commentator who can obviously do so much better considering his track record. Here's hoping 2019 is nicer to you, my dude. Honestly, if you were to ask me whether I consider Rush commentaries to be worst or bad commentaries, I would personally have to say Rush commentaries, as the majority of the time they tend to be knee-jerk reactions to getting criticized, or something of the sort, and as such the videos tend to not be checked over properly or end up just making excuses. And we'll know the next entry may not have the latter issue. Happy Maddie somehow beat out some funny meme as the worst Rush commentary I've seen.
The problem with this clip, he doesn't show his less than stellar commentaries. It might make sense for someone who knows the guy, but for anyone else, they're kind of left clueless.
Wow, what a massive disappointment. So a Flea makes a bad commentary on a bug, who then gets hit by a pony, who then gets hit by Love Live trash, but the pony counteracts, getting a video that ends up being on the worst list of the year. God help us all, this was awful. Now how is this commentary bad? Well, first off, here, I think Mr. Hanata Audio Balance can give you a nice free cash course.
Baby, cause this one's a screamer!
And ironically enough, Plushie, I can turn the same entire logic right back at you. Cause, didn't you say this earlier in the same commentary?
So if you search Jonah Smith commentary on YouTube, you'll find that he's kind of a popular name in the community. He gets a lot of commentaries done on him, that's for sure.
At least it was ordered in a somewhat funny chain. Plushie, yeah, I'm calling you that. Plushie's videos seem to have just missed the overall point of my commentary on him as a whole. Almost all of his arguments are completely obliterated by something that flew over his head. So I'm not mistaking the idea of saying that Blazing Larvesta is known for something as me saying he does make it. A common issue I find with Plushie's content as a whole is that he seems to want to make it to where everything is literally spelled out for you, when it's rather funny considering that, hey, your audience isn't sheep. In other words, stop ignoring what I say in order to make your point seem actually valid. Show his lessons on the commentaries? How? Video clips? Hold it!
I mean, yeah, obviously. That should kinda go without saying.
Show his lessons on the commentaries? How? Video clips? Screenshots? If that's the case, screenshots would be a terrible idea. They won't actually show the quality of the video. And if it kept showing multiple clips from the different commentaries, that would be nothing more than padding to add onto the video and delay from the actual topic at hand. Now honestly, as a whole, this comment wouldn't have actually bugged me as much, but like I said earlier, this whole entire commentary just speaks of absolute damage control, with most of his points trying to prove me wrong being easy to counter. Funny, so I've had a whole lot of commentaries done on me. I mean, you're right, but where's your proof of that? Show proof of me being commentated on a lot.
Here's the difference. I say where you can look for the evidence. You don't point out which of his commentaries are less than stellar. You could say you were pointing out all of them, but you don't say that either. You just say he made less than stellar commentaries.
Such as this, which still doesn't debunk the fact that you were being hypocrites, or points like the last one in the video.
I'll admit right now, the video wasn't great, but out of all the points, that's the one that bugged you the most? Not the fact that I accidentally said that bananas move?
Which is probably the most useless complaint I've seen in a commentary, right next to a clip of a video being tinted weirdly, cause maybe I just cared more about that one point. Which I did. I have the least to say about this video in particular, mostly cause thank goodness, the video was short, and while I would hope that Plushie would learn from mistakes after this, given the stuff I've seen and heard after, yeah, this is why I stopped dreaming. I think it's safe to say that I really sucked last year, and no, this isn't me just being a little self-deprecation, I actually mean it. Heck, I'd argue that I was genuinely worse than I was in 2017. In 2017, Jonas Smith was something. Most of the videos I released in 2018, whether it be my video on the sugar drama, the fan video, a lot of earlier comms had been, well, bad. The problem I had, heck, I'd say I probably still have it, is that I don't normally think before I act, jumping to conclusions and not analyzing them fully. Add on to this my attempt at a more sarcastic persona that year, and the inclusion of gimmicks like Rage Mode. You just have an unbearable commentator, really. I've tried to fix that, and I'd like to believe I'm doing better, but oh boy, I really need to make an apology to Fawful. Consider this entry that. So, I hate this video. I actually really hate this video. And I really hate this commentary. So, okay, this commentary has a slight backstory behind it. TLDR, I'm a member of the Cloud Palace. Doodle linked the video in the chat saying that she didn't like it, and it was based off of a game I actually like. And with those things in mind, I went on to create this video believing it to be bad, looking for any reason I could to just rip it apart, which is another problem I kinda have. Hey there, Slayer and Lunatic. I made the commentary unscripted because, well, no, I didn't even have a reason, I just kinda overreacted to what in hindsight was a fine video. Honestly, if you didn't know me personally, and saw this commentary, you consider me to be some kind of person who tries to bend the truth to make others look bad?
First off, I want to say, Logan, thank you for this opportunity. Keep up the good work, you beautiful bastard. As for Sticker Star, I haven't played it, but now I definitely want to get into the older games. Thanks for watching.
Good words. Hope mine can compare.
Now, I don't watch Fawful's content. I don't know if he always lists his Patrons on his videos. So cameos like this. Like seriously, when you look at this cameo, it basically just translates to, hey Fawful, your work is awesome! Now, let me just take everything you said as fact because you're always right! Now I'm gonna play these games that are objectively better! Then no, I wouldn't blame you in the slightest. Yeah, that last point I played kinda ties into why I don't like this video much at all. Instead of taking my anger and bias out on Fawful, I decided to lose it on one of his patrons too. Legit, the hell was I thinking? Even putting the issue of my general attitude to the side, my arguments aren't much better, with the whole com being based off of a line that I ended up misunderstanding.
A direct deconstruction of an infamous Miyamoto quote. This game is proof that players will put up with mediocre gameplay as long as the art is good.
This line just feels so incredibly pretentious, as if you feel like the only person who doesn't like Sticker Star. And fun fact, the whole boast behind this claim was that I didn't understand what he meant by direct deconstruction and didn't bother to look it up. So yes, almost all this whole entire commentary could have been avoided had I just done my research. Oh, and that applies to Fawful himself too. Now, I don't watch Fawful's content. I don't know if he always lists his Patreons on his videos. Then look it up, you frickin' scrub. Also, can I find it funny that I get people's cases for making points based around subjective hearing, and yet... Hey, your mic actually sucks. I'll flat out admit, it's hard to hear, but you can hear a faint buzzing whenever he actually speaks, and it's actually extremely distracting. So, out of the multiple commentary groups that come out of the commentary community, I don't think you could argue that there was one less in quality than Sock. Most of the members were rather low quality, with their commentaries either having poor chemistry, poor arguments, unoriginality to make the corporation of alternate nitpickers commentary on Halo fan blush, or, well, their leader. See, this also requires some context. So last year there was a comment by Sock on some political video made by the duo of Mr. Flipper Invader and 6060. While I would argue that no video in this chain was good, the most egregious out of the whole entire video would have to be Sock's com. Most of the video being for poor editing, chemistry, and having the whole entire commentary, sans the final thoughts, being written by a nihilistic snake. So previous target on my channel, Kainu, ends up covering it. And in response, we get probably the worst damage control seen in a long while that was in Plushie's video.
So I'm gonna make a quick response. I know I'm probably digging myself a huge-ass grave.
Wow, talk about predicting the future, am I right? This video was rather sad because, well yeah, I may poke fun at Snake here and there. I genuinely think he can be a decent commentator. When he's not doing politics, of course. This whole commentary is nothing more than a train wreck, and quite a few points stick out to be here as utter garbage, such as the idea of not showing evidence because it's, quote, not my job, when it's a commentary, so it is our job, and it hurts you because we have no actual reason to believe what you say.
And don't tell me you don't have the original video, because guess what? I know what you're referring to, and that very segment was in the SATCOM. I'm not gonna play it because it's not my fucking job, and you can go watch the SATCOM for yourself if you wanna.
Also, quick question to those in the audience. If you were to write a point for a commentary, give it to somebody else to read, then say to ignore insert name here's point, wouldn't that sound really scummy? Yeah, it probably would. But
the only one still being a piss baby about it is you. Plus, I gave that point to Justin, so yes, I'm gonna refer to it as Justin's point, otherwise it'll just be confusing as I'm not the one who made that point in the video. Would you prefer I confuse people?
This argument exists, and is quite honestly no excuse as its wording is absolute garbo. And I also shared some of the issues that my commentary on Fawful had, and that whether it be intentional or not, Snake seems to constantly just assassinate Kainu's character, or Kainu being a conservative and Snake being extremely feminist. It all just comes together in one gigantic oof. There's more I could say, but then I just be repeating myself over and over again. And this is quite literally just excuses and commentary for a nice little hint of political bias as a cherry to add on top. Add on to this Snake's final thoughts, which just turned out to be the world's largest no you, and you have a video that got on this list.
On top of that, you claim I'm too spiteful, but this whole video reeks of you wanting to just show me what's for. And if you want to grow as a content creator, I'd seriously recommend dropping that act.
You never deserved Tracer. I don't expect everybody to agree with the placement of the entries on my list. But out of all the ones involved, the next one is probably the most disagreeable of the bunch, and it's also probably the entry with the simplest flaw. Heck, the entry is on the list alone, purely due to this one exact flaw. So, comedy. Humor. It's a rather subjective saying, what may be funny to one may not be funny to others. Yet there's still ways that humor can be done wrong. Example, commentaries shouldn't just be Edge the movie. Yeah, the next entry on my list is the F commentary on Asriel 101. Talk about a complete waste of time.
Oh, so just another Wednesday for Megatron.
Yeah, and right now you're making me lose my concentration. Now go fatzel in, you filthy Mick.
Guys, I got an idea.
What?
Is it turning the frogs gay? Is it preventing terrorism? Is it finally going to get relayed? What is it?
We should all make a commentary.
Do we even have material?
Yeah, last night I robbed a bank, stole a car, hit 3 hookers, went to McDonald's, bought a Happy Meal, and this was my toy.
Look, this is going to be petty. Probably really extremely petty. But the humor alone single-handedly ruins this whole entire video. That clip I just played? Look at 35 seconds later.
Let's get started before Megatron starts violating his gender-bent Kirito body pillow.
Finally.
Fuck you! You're a fucking wanker! We're gonna punch you right in the balls! Fuck you! With the fucking anchor! You're all cunts, so fuck you all!
Putting aside how the intro is garbage with the poorly green screen flames, as well as the awful outlining and placement of text, the main reason I decided to play this intro was because this intro single-handedly demonstrates that the whole entire humor of the video will be like this.
I'd rather watch Coronation Street than watch this. Speed up your clips, you fuzzy kike. Just don't be like Lucas C.
She's only gonna address one tiny part like a goddamn motherfucking Jew, isn't she?
What if she is a Jew?
Then make a trail of pennies to the gas chamber. Did you even read what Icy wrote? Or, wait a second, she's a woman, so she's obviously illiterate. Duh. Dear SJWs, that was a fucking joke.
You see, this is why there are only 2 places women belong. I think we all know what they are.
Yeah, this is such amazing, wonderful insight. I feel so amazed. Also, all these clips, all these were in a time span of less than 4 minutes. This is a central issue of this commentary. With edgy comedy, it works best when it's barely expected, shock value and all that jazz. The exception here is that one of these jokes is made almost every single interjection and is aggravating. What makes it even more aggravating is that, as shown by the voice pitch, Asriel, the target, is more than likely a child. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Yeah, Asriel is gonna totally want to listen to people referring to her as a Jew constantly, saying her bad points are similar to Negro talk, etc. I heavily agree with what Doodle Turn said in the original video before it got deleted. If I can hear the term Sandy, and immediately make the guess that you're gonna make a Columbine joke, you done goof.
So she's even more guilty, quote unquote.
God, this point was the commentary equivalent of Hurricane Sandy, because this was a disaster.
You forgot some sort of line. A bit of a hook.
Sandy Hook ain't got shit on Columbine.
What makes it even worse is that I can't even fairly critique the other attributes of this commentary. They have chemistry, I guess, which prevents it from being any lower, but the fact that I don't even want to look forward to see how good the points are, nor how good the acting is, though the audio differences between the 3 is shocking, just goes to show how unbearable this whole entire commentary is to watch. Edgy humor isn't bad. There's no such thing as bad concepts, only bad execution. And this whole entire commentary is a prime example of how true that is. Wow, this video was really slept on. If you were to ask me one of my least favorite commentaries to come out this year, it would probably be Evil Necrosphere, but the commentary that I was going to put here by then was taken down and I can't find a mirror. So I found the second.
Time to go through the huge pile of Pokemon-related material that's been on my desk all week.
I don't have anything against Enigma, really. The dude seems chill, but the commentaries I have seen by him tend to be poor, with Enigma tending to miss the points various times, and the commentary on Sword Zinni in particular coming across as a condescending douche, which I really hope is something that doesn't get carried over into 2019. That being said, his commentary on Hoodlum Scrafty's least favorite Pokemon list is definitely nothing to write home about. First off, the editing. So Enigma decides to go to Ceratus route. Partially, his interjections throughout the commentary are edited as normal, though the Hoodlum Scrafty footage is all recorded, despite the fact that video downloaders exist. Even with that...
I didn't edit any of that. That's literally all he had to say about the Sinning Trio. And besides, dude, they're not Evolution knockoffs. Like I said earlier, they're a trio that's meant to work alongside the starters.
Yeah, his audio later down in his own video turns to levels of abysmal, with the audio frequently either overpowering him or just flat out being the exact same volume, which is, well, annoying to be rather blunt. Actually, funny fact, when I was looking to download this video, I originally went in thinking this was his first commentary. Though when we have jokes being taken seriously,
Wait, what? Nigel Thornberry and Aromatisse don't look remotely similar. I mean, unless you're trying to make a joke off the shape of their noses, but that's not that good of a joke then.
like this, you can't really blame me for thinking this was some newbie's first ever commentary. Honestly, the arguments are not much better than his attention span, as Enigma goes on several times throughout this commentary, using arguments by more experienced commentators, but not knowing how to properly execute them, leading to multiple of his arguments flopping. As well as the main problems I found with countdown commentaries, and that throughout the list, Enigma's complaints end up coming down to try to debunk subjectivity of subjectivity, purely because, Hoodlum has an opinion, I guess. An argument that's most prevalent in Hoodlum's entry for Arceus.
First, the backstory bit. Arceus is based on God, and is basically the Pokemon world's version of God. And we don't know God's origin. And we likely never will for that matter. So Game Freak had to take some creative liberties with Arceus' backstory, if you can even call it that, and it had to be something relatively simple. Why can't you catch on to this?
In which this whole entire argument is made mute because Hoodlum himself finds Arceus to be a boring Pokemon. Honestly, this video was a mess, plain and simple, and an utter slog to watch. And well, yeah, Enigma has improved since this one. Given the recent commentary with Gale Force, right now I already have a potential entry for the next year worst list. I think anybody who knows me personally saw this one coming. Honestly, I was hesitant to put this one even on the list because the issues with this comment have been talked about to death. Ah, who am I kidding? Let's welcome the first commentary of 2018 to the stage.
Before the year is out, he made a list of what he considered to be the 10 worst commentaries of 2017. We're going to be dissecting that list today.
First up, let's address the big elephant in the room that plagues Mr. A's commentary on my last worst list before we get to the other problems. This whole entire commentary, it has the best start to a commentary I've ever seen.
And before anyone says anything, if you expected this to be a comparison between it and the other two countdowns on the same topic around the time I made this script, then you're going to be disappointed.
A statement that ages poorly because that's all this video tends to actually be. Oh yes, Mr. A does try to debunk the actual points that I made in my original countdown, but frequently he compares entries to my own countdown to those of Doodletones and Solo Femviers, even going as far as to accuse me of plagiarism or ripping off people multiple times after the countdown, when at most these can be chalked up to similarities. Case in point, the intro, in which he compares the way my video started out with a parody of a Christmas jingle that was meant to lead up to a joke, compared to Femrune, which at most was just a segue into the actual video. See, here's the thing when it comes to commentaries relating to plagiarism. When you accuse your target of doing such a thing, it's only logical to, well, show the clips to actually back this up. See Lieber's commentary on Ceradus as an example of such. Mr. A, however, decides to do, well, the opposite of that and doesn't show any clips. You know, I was really tempted to place this video on Enter on the list, because that was just as ripe with problems. But then I discovered a video screwing up somebody kind of defending pedophilia. How you frick that up?
So we basically went from copying Damien's list to copying Doodle's list. Fantastic.
As such, I was left to take his words throughout the entire video, rendering all of his arguments, well, regarding that at least, mute. Heck, there's a document in the description showing every single similarity between all the countdowns. Which, yeah, you expect me to take your word about this not being a comparison video with that there, my dude? Speaking of which, the points aren't much better. Such as having subjective points, such as saying that since he can understand bad audio fine, it renders my point about the audio being bad in Chromie and Becca's collab as well bad, or one of my favorite points in the video. Number 7 on the list is Jay Foxwell's first video on me, Dark Fox vs. Sneasel. You know, I like commentaries on me. I love to get critique. Heck, most of the commentaries made on me this year have been my favorites. When I heard Fox was playing a video on me, I was really anticipating it. Oh, why did I do that? I call this, in that regard, the Sonic Forces of commentaries.
Are you sure that's the comparison you want to go with? Because a lot of people like Sonic Forces.
Which is funny when every mainstream review of this game has some words to say to you. I considered hitting this. Heck, I had a collab plan before complications arose. But frankly, this video has been talked about to death, so I'm just going to leave Keyblade Master's commentary on the video in the description, so you can see what a train wreck this whole entire series for a commentary actually was. At least the intro was good. Well, I myself have never agreed with the mentality, I understand why many people aren't exactly fond of the idea of children doing commentaries. Many times they let their emotions dictate their thought process, aren't experienced enough to get a good idea of how to do debating properly, and most of the time try to debunk subjectivity with subjectivity. Now, no, I don't believe that all kid commentators are destined to be bad. Paradox. But I'd be lying in saying that quite a few this year in particular have left quite a few marks in the standard for commentators that are children. And you can probably all guess what I'm talking about. Said video being... Umbus's video on Screw Attack. What, you thought I was gonna say Gaylord or Dan Stein? Nah, see, I'd have to have watched the videos in full to put him on. This video, on the other hand, I did, and I immediately regretted it afterwards.
I guess I could just open the damn thing and another segue to a commentary? Jesus Christ. Everything I do makes me end up in a commentary. I guess I'll just start the commentary.
Now, if that clip of the intro skit being self-aware, yet doing nothing actually different or amusing to put a spin on saying that the joke isn't a good indicator of the quality of this commentary, I don't know what is. Look, I don't hate them, but it's far from it, and it hurts to put them on this list 2 separate years in a row. But this is by far the worst commentary. My issues with this commentary are numerous, and it stinks of all the mistakes that a newbie would make in their first commentary, not somebody under 8. Multiple times throughout the video, Umbus interjects to use a "explain more please" card, which frankly isn't needed, as Screw Attack's list is mostly subjective, and not to mention...
Yeah, beach time! I'll take the lead! I'll take the lead! I'll take the lead! Here we go! Enemies up ahead!
Have you had enough yet? Too bad! This is how he is for every game he's in. You'd think that him being a honeybee would be a blessing, since that means he's supposed to die after just one sting. But no! He can't even give us that! And I know he looks adorable and all, but at the end of the day, he's a 2'3", 22-pound bee! I pray to God above that I be taken off of this earth by literally anything else.
Okay, how does this voice pick up a bad character? And what does this weight and height have to do with anything? You don't explain how Charmy's voice is annoying, just like later entries, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So why is he a quote-unquote bad character?
Some of the points are kinda obvious. Legit, high-pitched voice, childish mannerisms, right in front of you, how did you miss this? Well, it's not asking for elaboration, it's taking jokes too seriously.
Silver got some random tip-off in the future that Sonic was going to destroy the world, and instead of using his time travel powers to very easily verify this claim, he goes back in time to just try to kill Sonic anyway. Also, this is petty, but Silver's face looks like a palm tree leaf. Go ahead and try defending Silver in the comments if you want to, but if you want to change my mind, just realize that it's no use.
So, basically, what you're saying is Silver's spikes look dumb and look like a palm leaf. Oh, okay then. You also went on this pointless tangent about people defending Silver. Like, what? I'm going to skip the next entry.
Okay, shut it.
Hey, guess what? We're still not done with human characters. Let's go back to Sonic 06 one last time. If Princess Elise isn't in need of being rescued for the 1000th time, she's doing the cliche, "Oh, look at me, I'm a helpless anime damsel, look at my prayer hands, I'm clashing together because all I do is watch on the sidelines." That's it! That's all she does! Oh yeah, I did forget about the part where she kisses a giant dead blue rat.
Sonic is a hedgehog, not a rat.
You know, I need to let my anger out.
Okay, now stop breathing. Okay, no, not really. Please stay alive. But I also question some of the research Umbus put into this commentary at all, such as Screw Attack's segment on Shadow.
Shadow is also more evil-like than Knuckles. Shadow is still shown to be evil in a way in the cases of Sonic Forces and other games.
When, no, that wasn't even the real Shadow and just a copy created by Infinite. Frankly, not only does this video feel rushed, but it's probably the worst commentary I've seen in terms of absolutely stretching for points. Multiple points in this video give off the aura of wanting to make a point simply for making a point. 2 points in particular stand out as such. One such being the Omochao segment.
Omochao. This guy will not shut up. He is so determined to pester you, he'll fly after you regardless of how much danger you're in. Omochao is a lot like Fee from Skyward Sword if Fee read every single one of his lines like that chubby kid from Up. It's like he thinks you're so much of an idiot that he has to talk down to you like you're 3.
It's almost like, Sonic is a kid's game. The original version of Sonic Adventure 2 was rated E for everyone. Sure, it was changed into re-released versions, but still, Omochao is there, so you'll learn the basics of the game.
Which doesn't at all debunk the central complaint of Omochao being a constant annoyance. Keyword being constant. And probably my favorite part of the video, Screw Attack's entry on Sonic OCs.
Somewhere along the way, we all strayed from God's light and wound up in a world where horrors like these are littered across the internet. I mean, you know what they say, two heads are better than one, I guess. I don't think that's what this meant. The emeralds are stuck in my... No, we can't show that. I've never done drugs before. But these original characters are kind of making me want to... Sean. I searched for Sean the Hedgehog. How does everything bring up boobs? This one wet his pants. I can't explain them.
From what I can tell, it does look like they attempted to shade their pants, but not the rest of the image. I don't know, I didn't make the image, that's just my guess.
Yes, because this totally contributes to everything. And on to this, the awful final thoughts, lack of good presentation, such as no background music, period. You have one of the most boring, tedious commentaries I've ever seen that I really just never want to watch again. Possibly. And yes, that is foreshadowing. Now, before we move on to the number 1 segment, I think it's time to list a few honorable mentions.
Next time you might need to fact check before you might make an offensive comment about Jewish people, otherwise you might come off as a terrible person.
Oh yeah, I'll take a gun. Yeah, give me a gun. Talk about fucking red flags.
Gun owners are violent. Great stereotype. Even then, Trump said he would do background checks, so no violent lunatics would get a gun.
Okay, Keyblade, what the heck? How do you screw up making 2 commentaries on someone as dumb as I am? And no, that's not a self-deprecation joke.
Xehanort will constantly teleport around, throwing fast attacks on you that will make Meta Knight proud.
Is that really the best comparison you could have made with young Xehanort's fast combo attacks? Yes, I know, Meta Knight was OP back in the Brawl days, but couldn't you find something else who had even faster combo attacks than Meta Knight? I mean, Meta Knight isn't really fast outside of Brawl.
So there are a lot of rivals. So I don't see how that's a bad thing. Now don't get me wrong, I like the fact that in the other series Ash only has 1 rival. But you gotta admit though, the fact that he only has 1 rival was a lack of variety.
So if it isn't clear, I hate spite. I hate it when commentators go out of their way to make their target seem below them, to tear them down to the point that they come off as deconstructive. I hate when the truth gets bent to push points. I hate when I'm actually reduced to screaming at my computer for the users in question to shut the ever-living hell up because they're being dumb. Ladies and gentlemen, let me point you to the reason why nobody actually cares about the Transformers series anymore.
And here is one of the major problems with this video. Throughout it, she treats anime as if it were autism, or coming out of the closet.
Arkham and Dizik's collab commentary on COD's rant on anime haters. There was nothing good about this video. Nothing at all, and that's saying something. Even with the last entry, which I thoroughly disliked, I could at least give it that the humor was so bad it was actually funny. This, however, is the saddest piece of commentary I've ever seen, if not my least favorite commentary I've ever been forced to watch in history. Let's start off small. So first off, I look forward to seeing these two become modern PokeTubers in the future, because they sure have no idea what the definition of collaborate is, considering aside from the intro skit and Dizik saying Arkham's name once in the final thoughts, there was no collaboration. The lack of a collaboration also doesn't help because there was no comedic value to be had in this commentary at all. One of the great things about commentaries in general is how they can be both blends of humor and points. And while some people put points before humor, I would not be able to list any jokes here because there were none. Well, no jokes unless you mean stuff like this. Which thanks, my ears appreciate it a lot. This is the most frustrating video to experience when double standards just getting on the target for generalizing people, yet when they do it it's apparently okay.
A weeb is when a male or female in the USA, or the United Kingdom, if you can count it, at the age of 16 to 17, watches anime, who clearly tries to speak Japanese as what type of race they are. If they are white, Mexican, or blacks, they are actually clearly weebs. And they try to ignore all the haters that hate them, which makes me clearly pissed because they are ignorant pieces of shit who think owning a katana makes them badass and speaking Japanese as well.
The editing is horrid with absolutely horrible audio balancing. I also see lack of avatar images. This really helps in the visual department. But my main issue, you want to know what my main issue is? Well, let me show you a good example.
Honestly, this point actually does some of the bullshit you said today, but clearly you used the word accept me too much. We get that they accept you, but we don't give a shit if they accept you or of who. Honestly, most of the world don't accept other people. It's a fucking world. Deal with it.
Oh, this commentary is the worst spot I've seen since the infamous YouTube dude commentary on Comment Jack. And yeah, I'm including the final shot in this. These two show little or no sympathy for their target, and given the topic matter of not being accepted for simply liking something that quite a few others don't, this is actually unexcusable and despicable. I'll grant you Dizix is the one most guilty of this in the video, but this video still got approved, so the blame goes on them both. The points regarding why she shouldn't do whatever are bad enough as is, but it's even worse when you actually look at the stuff behind the scenes. Now, what am I talking about? What I'm talking about is the fact that the video they're covering is old. And not just old, said Target ended up making a video on the same exact topic, with better dialogue to fix the issues they bring up so much about generalizing. As such, this whole entire commentary is intellectually dishonest. Paint onto this multiple strawmans and points that just aren't right.
Anime is not for children.
And you have my personal worst commentary this year. There was absolutely nothing of value to be had here, and it just screams of two children screaming at a video because they don't like somebody defending anime, which is shown by Dizix here, is more likely than you'd think.
For me, anime is actually honestly the most trashiest cartoons out there. Some are actually good, but a lot are not. If I actually liked anime and no one else did, I really wouldn't care. You are dishonest at telling this exact point that you clearly made. It makes you look like you're more retarded animal.
This entry showcases all the worst attributes of commentaries, and I hope both of these two never end up making these mistakes again. Anyway, that's over and done with. Here's hoping 2019 is far better than this year. Links to all of the videos will be down in the description below. This is Jonah, saying, checkmate.